Hello everybody, my name's Michael, obviously, as you've clicked on this video. A lot of people don't know who I am because I don't post videos at all, really. I used to be a content creator back in 2008, but I stopped because I personally, I can't keep myself motivated every day to keep doing videos day after day after day. I know the grind is difficult, and I appreciate the YouTubers that do keep that grind going because it means a lot to everybody in the community. I mean, I know personally, I have issues in my life that when I watch these YouTube videos, it's so much easier for me to just watch them, relax, take my mind off everything, and just have a laugh because ultimately all these content creators are trying to do are to create a family around their community, and they do it so perfectly, like the Sidemen, and like how I'm going to talk about today, KSI, JJ. He's been doing this for years upon years. As far as I'm aware, he's been doing YouTube since 2008, and I know he's been posting since before that. But he's not the same person he used to be, and don't take this as an offensive video because it's not. I'm not taking shots at JJ. I'm not taking digs at JJ and what he does. All I'm doing is making a video of my perspective on what's happened today. So this morning he tweeted out saying about him wanting to leave the Sidemen, and it was the best time for him to do it now. So to be specific, quite a lot of the fans are sending him disrespectful messages, tweets, and things like that, saying that they're not happy with him. But at the end of the day, he needs to do what he needs to do to move on from what he's doing, because obviously him taking that time off of YouTube was because he wasn't enjoying it, and he needed to find a way to enjoy YouTube again. And I think this move for him might be the best thing that he could do. Now, obviously, this may turn out to be a forfeit, as many people are saying, but this is still something that I have wanted to talk about for a long, long time. And even if nobody watches it, I'm really not that fussed. So JJ tweeted out this morning, yeah, I think it's time to move on from the Sidemen. The journey has been a lot of fun, but it's time to move on to bigger things. And then about an hour later, he says, I'll explain in a video soon, but yeah, this was eventually going to happen. So I guess now is the best time to say it. And I understand where he's coming from, where he says this was going to happen for a long time, but he didn't know when to say it, because throughout the past few months, even for quite a while, you can see him hinting at making a move away from the Sidemen, away from England. I don't think it's particularly because he's fallen out with anybody in the Sidemen in particular. I just think it's because he's not enjoying himself doing the content that he keeps on doing time after time. So I tweeted out earlier, and I'll say it how I would like to say it, because writing stuff down doesn't always express how you feel about a certain situation. So all I said on the matter earlier was it was quite obvious that it was going to happen because, well, there's quite a few reasons why, in my opinion. So if I'm going to be honest, I think KSI is more interested in music than YouTube right now. Not just right now, but he has been for a while. When he made his first song, which he published to YouTube about his Lamborghini, I think that was pretty much the start of him wanting to transition into music. I don't think a lot of people took it as serious as he first perceived it. I think he perceived it as a real, full production music video, and everybody was thinking of it as a joke. And I think that might have upset him in a certain sense because he was trying to produce something that he loved, but people were taking it as such a joke. Now, a lot of his true fans that have been around since 2008, which I believe is when he started making videos, will understand that he's not the same person he was back then. He used to, I'm not saying he's not funny anymore or he's not comedic, but he's a mature type of funny now. Back then he was doing things that were unrealistic, wacky and crazy. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, I guess. I mean, if you think about it, LA is the place to be if you want to be big in music. If you know anything about rap or hip hop, you know personally that it isn't as big in the UK as it is in LA or the USA for a fact. I mean, the UK's generally rap scene is dominated by grime, and I think the move to LA for him, in a business perspective, if he wants to pursue that rap career, is a smart one. I mean, no offense to anyone, but he didn't seem happy in the Sidemen videos towards the later end of the stage, building up to him tweeting this and letting everybody know that he doesn't want to be with the Sidemen anymore for certain reasons. I mean, if you've ever watched FaZe Banks or Ricegum of recent, you would also see that JJ has recently just flew out to LA to stay with Ricegum, FaZe Banks, and all the people in that house. And they vlogged him coming in, and you could see the actual happiness on JJ's face that you haven't seen for such a long time. I mean, when he gets up into the house and meets up with them all, you can see him laughing, having a great time. They're all joking about with him. I don't think he gets that same sense of happiness in. I don't know. I don't mean to say that the Sidemen don't make him happy anymore. I just think that a new venture is what he needs to find himself again. And if that's what he needs to do, then everybody should respect that. I mean, he goes to LA all of the time, and he often commented saying how much he loves it there and how much he wanted to live there. I mean, when he was making Laid in America with Casper Lee, he loved it over there. You could see it in his face that he was enjoying it more there. I mean, you can see true happiness in someone's face, and I could see it in that video that he was truly happy at that point. I mean, unfortunately for the UK, it's so hard for YouTubers like KSI, like everybody else, to be growing as fast as people in LA because our country isn't as relevant as it once was. I mean, when the Sidemen first came to YouTube as a group, it was amazing. Like everybody was subscribing, everybody was going to everybody's channel, but that train of subscribers soon stopped. I mean, well, it hasn't stopped. They're still gaining subscribers, but not on the mass that people in LA are, because the production value of the videos over there are, I don't know how to explain it. It's such better quality, it's such better content. I'm not saying that the content over here is crap. I would never say that, because I love watching Simon, Josh, Ethan, Toby, Vic, Harry, and JJ all alike. They're great content creators, but I feel like LA is another level of content. I mean, if you think about it, the fastest growing people on the platform are either music channels, which are from the USA, or people from LA, like Logan and Jake Paul, Ricegum, and certain FaZe members, if you know what I mean. They're the fastest growing YouTube channels on YouTube, obviously. I mean, Logan Paul and Jake Paul, for instance, they've been vlogging constantly for about a year now, and Logan's about to hit 10 million subscribers, the first person to do it in under a year. I mean, if that doesn't say something to people, then I don't know what does. Because to stay relevant, you need to hop on trends. And for JJ, that wasn't something that he wanted to do. He openly admitted that. He said he doesn't want to jump on trends to stay relevant. He wants to do what he wants to do. And people said that they understood that, but then when he went to make choices of his own, they all started complaining at him. And that was the message he was trying to get across to people. He was sick and tired of people turning to him and forcing him to make videos that he didn't want to make. And he had to leave because the fans weren't happy with what he was making. But that what he was making was what he wanted to do. And when he first deleted his channel, well, not deleted his channel, blacked out his channel, his Twitter, all his social medias, he deleted a lot of his old videos to prove a point that those videos were something that he did not like, he did not want to do, but he was forced to do because the fans wanted to see that, and they weren't happy when they weren't seeing that. I mean, the choice that KSI has made to tell people about this should be appreciated, not hated. At the end of the day, nobody is obliged to tell anybody about their personal choices, but he did it out of respect to everyone and his fans, and I think that everybody should give him that same level of respect in return. But they're not. I've been reading through Twitter this morning, and I'm seeing people, like, I understand people are upset, but people commenting hate on his thing, saying, no, you can't do that. Why are you doing that? But at the end of the day, it's his choice. If he needs to do that, you need to give him that same level of respect that he's been giving us for years upon years. If you are a fan of JJ and you are a true fan of what he does, then you will respect his decision in what he's done. And like I say, I understand people he's upset, but because he's leaving the Sidemen, but he's made his choice, and we need to support that. He's been great in the Sidemen, but they'll be able to keep going on their own because he knows deep down that they're creative, strong, and amazing as a unit. I mean, if you ever watch the True Geordies podcast with KSI, you will hear him say in that video that each individual person in the Sidemen have their own creative traits. Like he was talking about Josh, saying that he does everything in the Sidemen. He creates events, he organises events. Simon, he's one of the hardest grafters, as well as Vicstar and Ethan with his new streams and everything like that. I think they're all great individually as a unit, and I don't think that taking someone away from that's going to change that. At the end of the day, I can't see them not being friends anymore. Simon and JJ have been friends since school. Why would they stop being friends now? I don't think there's any beef between any of them. And I think people are taking this out of proportion in a sense, because what they're saying to JJ is stuff like, oh, have you fallen out with the Sidemen? Have you done this? Have you done that? I don't think that's the case, because at the end of the day, he's living with them. He's been living with them for years upon years. If he had a problem with them, don't you think he would have left earlier? I mean, he was really honest in Casper Lee's interview. I mean, if you watch Casper Lee's interview last week, Life After YouTube, I think that pretty much summed up what JJ was feeling while he was away, how he feels now. And I think people need to respect his privacy a lot more than they are doing right now. Because in that interview, he said that he was in love, he was enjoying life, he was happy. Like, he was on cloud 9, basically. And he said that nobody would find his new partner because he didn't want them to. And then people saw that as a challenge and started going, oh, let's expose him, let's do this, let's do that. But just leave him alone, that's his privacy. If he doesn't want people to know who his girlfriend is, then respect that he has asked for that from yourselves, because he's been making content for you for years. Now he's not obliged to do that. He could have stopped at any point, but he kept going because he knew that he made fans happy. But he wasn't happy anymore because he wasn't creating the content that he wanted to do, like I said earlier. I mean, at the end of the day, if JJ ever hears this, KSI, if you ever hear this, then I have a lot of respect for you for telling everybody what you did today. I hope your fans can appreciate it as much as I do. Best of luck for the future, and I'll be watching and backing you all the way for sure. I mean, I remember the first ever video I watched of you was a FIFA trailer with my old friend when I was in secondary school, and we were laughing along to it because it was so funny for us at that time. But I think, like you, we've matured, and I think if we watch that now, I don't think we'd find it the same level of funny as we used to. Now, I know you've privatised a lot of these videos, but I still remember them, and they'll always be in my memory. I always think you've been one of the best content creators, if not the best, that I have ever seen on YouTube. I have a lot of respect for KSI. None of this is meant to offend anybody. I just feel like what he has done today should be respected, not hated. And if people looked at it in the right sense, they would see why he's done what he's done today. I appreciate that you might all send me some hate or might not like this video, and I understand it's not the best production value, you know, the audio quality might not be the greatest, but I wanted to get this off my chest because at the end of the day, I'm seeing people time after time hating on YouTubers, not just KSI, YouTubers for the decisions they're making in life, when if they made that same decision, they'd expect respect from their friends. I mean, that's what we are to them. We're friends, we're family. They're creating a family, a community, like I said. And if a family member made a decision, I'm sure you'd support them. So please, stop hating on KSI for making this decision, even if it is a joke. Because at the end of the day, he needs to do what he needs to do to make his life better, more happy. And I think this is a great move for him. Well, that will be the end of my chat. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's been a long one. I'm not going to cut any of this out because I know there might be some weird noises like me gulping back because I haven't had a drink or anything. But please appreciate that this is just my opinion. This isn't fact. This isn't anything. Please don't take anything I have said for, you know, quote unquote or whatever you want to do, because at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. And I think this is basically what people need to be doing at the moment. So thank you for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you again later.